Okay, everyone. So, this is the second video, and I said I was going to make a video about clothes. Um, I did have a dream, but I'm not talking about that yet. And it's not about clothes, anyways. It's about something else. But I'm in prayer about that, and I'm asking for confirmation about that one. This video is about traveling and moving abroad and such, and how you pack. Um, I just feel like I need to make this video to explain a few things. I want to talk about basically about people moving abroad. Everybody has different choices in how they pack. I've traveled multiple places. I've traveled to different places, not necessarily abroad, but I've traveled to different places. I've moved a lot, and well, you guys know how it is. If you're a missionary or if you're one of God's children that He's told to travel to different places to give the word or to help, to be a missionary and help, or to lend your services or what have you, you guys understand what I mean. To do, or traveling to do outreach or what have you, you guys understand, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And those of you that travel, what was I going to say? Travel internationally, overseas or what have you, or maybe you're doing, maybe you or uh, a spouse or a sister, a family member, or even your son or daughter does mission trips, or traveling abroad for school, or such. So with that being said, I just feel like making this video to voice my opinion on packing and how to pack. Everybody packs differently. Like I said, everybody's wants and needs and desires and what they would like to have with them when they move or when they travel or when they, when they're going abroad, either whether it be moving abroad or just traveling abroad or going to school abroad or missions trip, ministry abroad, however and whatever it may be. Everybody has their set personal special things that they want to take with them. And a lot of time when you're moving, you have to give up things. If you don't have a way to store them, you have to give things up, because you can't take everything with you. So with that being said, I want to speak on the way we pack, because I've been looking at this a lot lately, and I already know because I travel a lot. I move a lot. I travel a lot, and I believe the Lord has it that way. But when you stay so long at a certain place and you accumulate stuff. Excuse me, just one moment. I feel like I'm about to sneeze, so I'm gonna put you on pause for a minute. Okay, we're back. So with that being said, as I told you, as I was speaking about, when you move and you're moving constantly, you start to think, what is a better way I can move? How can I move? how is this going to be better for me than this type of packing? And as I said before, many of us have a certain way we pack, or certain things we have to take. Some of us are minimalists or have to become minimalists. Others just realize that there's things in their closet that they never use that are just memories, right? Which you can take pictures of, and put on your SD cards, your memory cards and such. As I was speaking of in a different video about all of that stuff and about simplifying, many times we realize that when we're in a move, that there's certain things that, especially if you're going abroad and going to be gone for a long period of time, there's just certain things that you just cannot take with you. And there's certain things that if you want to take with you, it's going to cost possibly an arm and a leg to ship those boxes over to your new location. And then when you come home, you're going to have to ship them again or throw them away or donate them there where you're at. So with that being said, the Lord has been has this on my mind lately. And I've been watching other people's videos too about how they pack and what's the best way to pack and how they can, what would be the best way to start packing for me. And y'all seen the picture from the beginning. You've seen it, this video from the beginning. You saw this video, the other videos with me talking about my clothes, showing my clothes and talking about simplifying, which is what I'm doing as well, because the Lord is not just warning his people, he's not just warning you guys to simplify and take only what you can carry. He's telling me also. And when he tells me something, sometimes it's personal and just for me, but other times it's for all of God's people or a certain person, okay? So, with that being said, he has been showing me a lot about how we pack and what to use and how other people pack and how they use things and how their thought process is when packing or when becoming a hoarder or an overpacker to a minimalist packer, regardless of whether they're moving abroad or not moving abroad. The decisions to ship or take or just rebuy what they had here over there is very it's on the person. Okay, it's on the person. And what I want to say about that is that you guys as people, it's a choice and it's a thought process. I've watched so many videos and talked to so many people about how they pack and how much less of an issue and less of a problem it was if they did the minimalist thing. When they got their thought process right and decided, oh, well, I can buy a new crock pot when I get there. I'll just make sure I save extra money for that. I can buy a new toaster. I can buy new clothes from the land, for the most part. I mean, don't go without clothes, but what I'm saying here is the least you have when you move, the least you have to take you, the less of a problem you will have when you get, in getting to your destination and when you get to your destination. That being said, I've looked at rolling versus folding. I've done it both. I've done packing cubes, and I got these vacuum bags, and I've done those. And I personally don't really like those vacuum bags. The vacuum bags are terrible to me, I think. I do not like them. Just my opinion. Maybe I need to pack them better or something. But they just seem big and bulky, and when you vacuum the stuff out, they're flat, but they're hard, and you can mold them a little bit. But when you're trying to pack multiple items and crevices and different things, it doesn't always work correctly. It doesn't always work right with those vacuum bags. It works much better with packing cubes or rolling and folding your clothes. But it works even better when you minimalize your clothing. This is one of the reasons I'm going through my clothing and getting rid of or donating a lot of stuff. When you make a move, when you're going to be gone for a long time, or when you make a move to a different state or different country, it's just easier to sell your stuff or to donate and then rebuy when you get there, and to have a fully fresh start with new stuff. As far as like pillowcases and little things like sentimental things to remind you from home, the little teeny things like that, I'm not telling anybody to not bring stuff like that, because even on trips, certain things that are sentimental to you and remind you of home or what have you, are nice. Like your nice silk pillowcase, or a pillowcase that's yours from home, that's comfortable to you, that makes you feel better about your trip, or that just brings that comfort from home, so to speak, But not everybody does that. Not everybody has to do that. My point today here was about the way we pack. And it's to each your own. However, personally, I think the vacuum bags aren't that great. I think they're more of a problem because I've tried to use them, and they seem like they're more of a problem and take up more space. Even though you can put more in there and flatten them, it seems like they take up more space that way than if you folded and rolled and stuck things in spaces and holes. And they take even more space than they take way more space up than the little the packing cubes. So I'm just here to voice my opinion, and I'm here to tell you guys, it's to each your own. You guys are the ones who are traveling, that are going to have to pack wherever you're going, and it's your decision, your stinking thinking or non-stinking thinking, however you want to say it. But it's the way we think that we have to change. We have to change our minds, our thinking on the situation, because a lot of people are living in survival mode, and they are in survival mode, thinking, oh, I need to take all my clothes with me. I need to take all these items with me and just send them over because I'm not going to have any when I get there. And if I send all my stuff over, I'll have stuff. But yet, by the same token, it's understood that you want something familiar with you. However, if God wants you to change your thinking, and if He wants you to start out fresh and start your new life with new things, with different things, then who are we to tell God, no, I want to keep my same old stuff. I want to be the same old person I was before, when He's molding us and changing us into other things. You see, and for the better. So I guess that was kind of a word within a word, but God wants us to be dependent on Him and what He shows us and what He tells us to do. And a lot of people, like I said, go into survival mode and they don't look at, okay, well, I want to take these outfits, but I haven't worn them in 5 years or 2 years or a year, or 8 months. It's like, granted, I understand if it's like a winter outfit or a summer outfit and you're not wearing it because it's the summer or because it's the winter. I understand that. But I'm talking about clothing that you would wear within that season, and if you only cycle through so many, okay, I'm going to say this with a number. If you have 10 summer outfits, but you only cycle through 3 or 4 of those outfits, or even 5, we'll say half, okay, there's no reason to have those extra 5 outfits laying around when you can donate it or just toss them out if they're old with holes in them. Same thing with winter and fall clothing. If you cycle through the same exact clothing and your favorite ones or your most comfortable ones, and you have a few nice outfits for church or for work or what have you, and that's it, y'all know what you need to do. Like, you don't need to have all this extra stuff that you are not using at all, period, to take with you when they're just clogging up your closet and just sitting there, taking up precious real estate, so to speak. Not just in your closet, but in your mind. And it makes it a lot more overwhelming and gives you more anxiety to have to think about what to take with you, what to wear that day, when you constantly are just grabbing the same old outfits every single day. You're not even thinking about the outfits that are in your closet. You're just wearing the same old outfits that you like, that you're comfortable with. So why even have all those outfits that are in your closet or in your dresser when you only wear certain outfits? And you've constantly only wore certain outfits. You can go to a new place and buy new stuff instead of lugging around 3 or 4 suitcases with you. Checking 2 or 3 suitcases and lugging a carry-on and a personal item. Like, that's ridiculous. Yes, you can pack your stuff up in a box and have your stuff shipped to you. But if the Lord has been showing you need to simplify and get rid of stuff, do it. Pray about it before you do it. Let the Lord show you which your favorite outfits are, which ones you constantly wear in these seasons, and then get rid of all the rest and keep the ones you just normally wear. That's it for this video. That's all I can say about this. At this time, this is just what the Lord is showing me, and I have a feeling He's going to be giving me a lot more words in the next couple of days, so about different things. So I will talk to you guys soon, and I hope this message blessed you or was a confirmation to you. Shalom.